So clause 8.1, the umbrella clause for operations, the requirement is implement the plans from clause 6 and plan, implement, and control the processes needed to meet service requirements and SMS requirements. So what does this involve? Three things: establish criteria for the process, performance criteria, quality criteria, conformance criteria. Without criteria, you can't know whether a process is operating well. Not only do we establish criteria, but we also control the processes, ensure that they operate to the criteria with appropriate intervention when they don't. Retain documented information demonstrating processes have been carried out as planned. Provision for services, control plan changes, review consequences of unintended changes, take action to mitigate adverse effects. Operations are dynamic. The standard requires that change be controlled. And in terms of outsourced processes, if you outsource any process or part, you must you remain responsible. The standard requires control of outsourced processes as well as in-house ones. So practitioner application, clause 8.1 is short, but it's the framework for everything else in clause 8. Every process in 8.2 through 8.7 must be planned, implemented, controlled, and documented in line with 8.1. 8.2.1 is service delivery, the first of the service portfolio subclauses. The requirement: operate the SMS in a coordinated manner that delivers services. The key word is coordinated. Service delivery is not a single process, it's the orchestration of all the other processes working together. So here is a practical application. This subclause is about integration or isolation. Many organizations have strong individual processes but weak integration between them. And the symptom is incident management works, change management works, but they don't talk with each other. Critical incidents that result from changes go uncoordinated. 8.2.2 is plan the services. This is different from planning the SMS in clause number 6. This is planning individual services within the portfolio. Three specific things the standard requires: determine and document service requirements. For each service, what does it need to do, for whom, to what standard? Determine the criticality of services. Not all services are equally important, so trading platforms versus internal training portals. Identify any duplications between services. The standard expects you to look across your portfolio for overlapping services that could be consolidated. And here is a practitioner application. Many organizations skip this, assuming the services they have are obvious. They are not. The common artifacts would be a service portfolio register that lists every service with its requirements, criticality, status, and it's reviewed periodically to identify duplications and gaps. Common pitfalls: duplication is not recognized, multiple email systems required through mergers and acquisitions, two ticketing tools from different waves of vendor selection, three identity management systems, each was implemented for a reason, none has been consolidated. What is a practitioner intervention? Run a portfolio rationalization exercise, list every service, identify overlaps, make rationalization recommendations, often save substantial cost while improving service consistency. An audit consideration would be the auditor would ask, show me your service portfolio, show me how you have assessed criticality, show me how you have addressed duplications. Vague answers signal that 8.2.2 is not operating. 8.2.3 is control of parties involved in the service life cycle, one of the most important subclauses. In organizations with complex supply chains, The requirement: establish controls so all parties involved in the service lifecycle conform to applying requirements, conform to applicable requirements. Three categories of parties. You have external suppliers, internal suppliers, and customers acting as suppliers. The principle is the same across categories. The service provider is accountable for ISO IEC 20000-1 conformance across the life cycle, regardless of who actually performs activities. So what does control look like? Define what each party must do, process activities, data provision, performance levels are things that need to be defined. Establish how performance will be measured, conduct oversight to ensure conformance, reviews, audits, and escalations, and demonstrate accountability to the auditor. And here is a practitioner application. This is one of the most consequential clauses for organizations that depend heavily on suppliers. The audit will probe. 8.2.4 is service catalog management. The requirement: describe the services within scope in one or more catalogs, provide a single source of consistent information. By one or more catalogs, we mean different audiences need different views. Customer-facing catalog describes services in business terms. Technical catalogs describe underlying components. One catalog with multiple views or separate catalogs both work. Single source of consistent information is important. There's one authoritative description of each service. There's no competing definitions, no inconsistencies. And here is a practical application. Service catalogs are often inadequate in real organizations. Common patterns of failure would include multiple incomplete catalogs, the customer-facing catalog saying one thing and the operations team's wiki says another. Neither is complete. Users get conflicting information. Another challenge is out-of-date catalogs, created at certification time, not maintained as service evolves. It could be misleading. Internally inconsistent catalogs is another challenge. Different services described differently, one in detail, another minimally, hard to compare. Audit considerations: auditors will check the catalog, they pick a service, they verify the catalog entry is complete, current, and matches what's actually being delivered. Mismatches are findings. So a practitioner advice would be catalog work is often a quick win in implementations, visible value to customers, structural value to SMS, and relatively contained scope of work.